Hello, friends, and welcome to the Cinemondo podcast
Hello.
with Kathy, Mark, and me.
Hello.
And yeah, we've got a trailer that we're going to watch today that I have not seen, and it's by a filmmaker that we've talked endlessly about.
He is like one of my new favorites. Like
Absolutely.
It's sort of like when you hear his name, I want to watch it immediately. Whatever it is, like he's that guy. So, this was written, produced, and directed. So this is all Ari Aster.
And I love when movies are all like it's one person's, one person's vision, good or bad.
Yeah.
It's M. Night Shyamalan's the same way. You can go, okay, this movie's bad or good, but it's his movie.
Yep.
And same with Ari Aster. He did Hereditary, which we consider one of the greatest horror films of all time. At least I do, and I'm sure Kathy and Burk would agree. And Midsummer, which is also just a real trip, a real head
really
trip.
good follow-up. Yep.
Yeah.
Very different.
Very different. I think this one might be very different too, and we'll see. It's called Beau is Afraid, and it stars Joaquin Phoenix. You're getting off to a good start with a great actor.
Already.
Yeah.
Him and Ari Aster together. Just
I know, yeah.
It's Michael Gandolfini's in it, Amy Ryan, Parker Posey. So an interesting cast. And it's about one of the richest men in the world, and it's played by him and just his issues. And that's all we know about it.
Joaquin Phoenix, right?
Yes. And it's coming out April 23rd. So, it's a springtime release, A24. And it's going to be interesting. Well, I don't know what the trailer is going to bring us, but I'm sure it'll be something to talk about.
Is it going to make us want to see it?
Well, I'll see it no matter what. But
yeah.
It says it's a surrealist comedy horror film. That's how it's described in IMDb. So it's a little bit of everything.
Yeah. So he's maybe just, you never know what you're going to get with him.
Never know.
So let's check it out.
All
Beau is Afraid. I'm kind of afraid.
I'm a little afraid of this now. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
You never know what to expect from this guy. All right.
No, he's going to scare me.
And are we ready?
Ready.
Action.
I am so sorry for what your daddy passed down to you. But I wanted a child, the greatest gift of my life.
I'm visiting my mother tomorrow.
Hi, Carrot. It's Mom. I'm just calling to say that I'm so excited to see you tomorrow. You're my angel, and I love you. Okay, I love you. Okay, bye, sweetie. I love you.
Are you at the airport?
I'm on my way. It's not safe, is it? What do you think I should do?
I'm sure you'll do the right thing, sweetheart.
Welcome back.
I hit you with my car.
What?
I know.
What is this?
That's my little assistant health monitor. Feeling sad about going home, Beau? Must feel totally unreal.
I'm supposed to be leaving.
I don't know if that's gonna happen.
You will walk many miles. Dozens will become hundreds. Hundreds will become thousands. Your adventures will continue for years and years.
I just need to get home.
I know.
Sweet devotion, it's not for me. Just give me
Why did you lie to me?
Do you want the truth now?
Yes!
I am so well. That just blew Mark right off the screen. I'm so glad that we live in a world that has Joaquin Phoenix in it. He's fucking great. I mean,
yeah, he's.
Oh my god, it's just such a perfect perfect role for him.
There he is.
Like, great. I know
Yeah.
we saw Ari Aster worked his magic and blew you out of
Yeah,
the room.
I know. He said, "All right, Mark, you're out of here." I'm back.
Disoriented
Talking about how
Mark
great
right out of
Joaquin-
the podcast.
It is a disorienting trailer because it's interesting. You really don't know what's going on. You don't get the story. The Super Tramp
Right.
song is just so weird to
Yeah.
have in there, because that's sort of a fun song.
Yeah.
It's just an odd. You don't know where your emotions are in it, but that makes it intriguing for me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the lyrics of Super
Wait.
Tramp is like "Find Your Paradise." Like, it's sort of about finding yourself and find. So even though it's kind of a goofy song, it gives you that, not only in the trailer aspect, gives you that comedy, lightens the load. Because if it was giving you that dark, scary music, it would seem very impressive. So you have the song that's kind of goofy, and it also has a message that's sort of about like all these different people in your life and your adventures and getting to know everyone. So that kind of worked on a very kind of subliminal level. But yeah,
Well,
I'm
I
just
was
saying.
worried at first when I heard, because I love Hereditary and I love Midsummer and just the vibe in those films. There's an edge to those films that you don't see it in a lot of modern films that I think comes from a more emotional place in a filmmaker's heart, I guess is the word. And this one seems like he's really putting his heart into this somehow, like some kind of emotion. There's like an emotional depth to what I'm seeing here. And I have to say, I was a little worried when I first heard about this, that Ari Aster was going to make a new movie. I was like, yes. And then I heard the word comedy and I was like,
I know. I was like,
oh.
don't do it.
Because I don't know how he is with comedy. You know what I mean? It's like, is he going to try to make a horror comedy and it's going to make me go, oh, he doesn't, I'm worried. But this has a vibe to it. There's some comedy films that can be like totally laugh out loud comedy, but this doesn't look like laugh out loud comedy. It looks like a tragic comedy kind of a thing. Like there's a depth, there's
comedy.
Humorous things happen. But I don't think you're going to be going,
Well, he even said, Ari Aster said that he thought that Midsummer had a lot of funny parts in it. So maybe his humor is just like that. It's just.
It kind of did. I mean, when the guy hit the rock, it was kind of humorous.
So the cast is interesting too, because Nathan Lane usually is in funny stuff.
Yeah.
He sort of has that light, and Amy Ryan, has been in stuff like that. So, and Parker Posey has been in weird sort of offbeat comedy. So, I think the cast might help make it sort of on that line. Which if you can toe that line, it could be really interesting.
I've had people say that I remind them of Amy Ryan for some reason. I'm like, I'll take it. I like Amy Ryan. She's great. I loved her in The Wire. I loved her in The Office. She's amazing.
She's good in everything. She's good in everything.
She's great. So I'm going to take it.
The comedy thing, though, it's like, you look at filmmakers like the Coen brothers and you think something like The Hudsucker Proxy or something, or, like Raising Arizona is a full-on comedy, but there's a depth to it, there's an emotional depth to it that is deeper. The river of emotional depth is deeper than the river of comedy, if that makes any sense. And I think this movie is going to have a deeper emotional resonance than a comical resonance to it.
Oh, I think so.
In the way that some of the Coen brothers movies seem to be able to pull off.
That's true.
And Joaquin Phoenix, he's I don't know how he is with the slapstick, but it looks like he's he's in this world. It looks like a bizarre, cartoonish kind of a fantasy world that he goes into. And that is really hard to pull off in a serious film. Something where you're seeing, animation that's obviously created by animators and things like that. Like I remember in The Black Swan, that movie I liked, different filmmaker, but there was a scene where some drawings came to life and they were animated drawings on paper. And I think it was supposed to be sort of scary and like, to me, I just saw animation and I was like, it's so hard to make things like that work where you go into an anime, like a cartoonish fantasy world, because suddenly it becomes a film. It becomes an animated film.
You think of Dick Van Dyke and penguins, like from Mary Poppins.
Right.
It kind of takes you out, because if you're getting invested in what you're seeing in front of you, which is sort of this, a suspension of disbelief, and you're getting involved in the characters and it feels real to you and you feel real emotion looking at the screen, all of a sudden that happens, you're like, But it's a movie. But in
Yeah.
this one, it seems like that's the whole point. In this one, it looks like he's got a lot of anxiety. It looks like it looks like it's kind of like his journey to see his mother is going to be all the hijinks along the way, and it seems
Right.
like his perspective and realities will shift every time, like along the way, and we'll shift with it. I guess. That's
Yeah,
kinda,
I think maybe that kind of makes sense to me. That might be the
Like
way.
his worst, it says something about his worst fears. Like his
Yeah.
fears are coming to life.
You know what? That's Ari Aster worst fears. Oh shit!
Yeah.
That's gonna be bad. All right, so I have some posters.
Let's take a look.
So we have a character poster. So this is the this actor Armin Nahapashian, I think his name is. He's just been in a few things. I thought that they did a lot of retouching on this guy, but when I
Right.
looked at his photo, this guy looks retouched in real life. He's like one of those guys, like
Naturally retouched.
beautiful skin, perfectly retouched. They probably didn't even do anything to him in that. so,
Wow.
So then we have here, so I can talk about.
But there's a series of them, right? That
Yeah.
like
Well, there is,
young,
but
older.
Yeah. But so we'll just, instead of going through each one. So these are obviously, we have this actor down here at the bottom, and the rest of them look like they're all Joaquin Phoenix in various degrees of makeup and old age makeup and stuff like that.
Right.
But my problem with this poster, now I like the idea of it because they're all him, and there's probably a journey he's going to go through as he gets older, and we're going to see all of this, and we'll see the hero Joaquin Phoenix, the second one in line, probably the most. But there's some weird retouching in this that does not work. One is heads are getting bigger as they go back in perspective, which is just
really
wrong
strange,
very weird, and it's just the kid's head in front is way too small,
and the kid's shoulder is really pushing into his chest in a way that makes it look like they're like plush toys, and he's being pushed into him so that he's on exactly the same facial plane. Right.
And why
next
is
to
the
him.
shoulder so high on the right and so low on the I don't understand that posture either.
Yeah.
It's
and
not,
also
there's also not a lot.
Right. I also think him in the fedora or whatever turned to the side, the head looks just weird. It just looks askew, way too small and just off. It doesn't look
right.
right.
It looks darker lighting.
Yeah, and the hand on the shoulders are just weird sizes, and where are they coming from? And the hand's too small on the left, it's too big on the right. It's just a mess. But then I get like the complications because it's probably all shots from the film, except the kid looks like he has a special shoot, and maybe Joaquin Phoenix, but everything else looks like it's from the film. So you're trying to match lighting, which ends up being a nightmare because you can never paint in shading. Like you can tell that him and his fedora, the light was probably not from that side. It looks painted on. So you're trying to make this work, and then you're stripping on a hat because there probably was a shot of him in this, but they want the hat on. The hat does not look real. And then you have him on the top left. I know probably people are like, we don't care. Again, lighting problems, but his head is also way too big. So the guy, I think, what's throwing everything off looks like everybody on the right looks too small, and everybody on the right looks too big. On the left looks too big. Now the guy in the hat should be bigger.
Yeah,
and their bodies are blending together almost. The two in the back look like they're morphed together. I don't know. It's just to me, I wonder if it's on purpose. Is it supposed to be disorienting and awkward looking? Is it supposed to be like a parody of a movie poster?
I think it is, but at the same time, retouching is not part of it because no one's really going to notice that but us. Like the bad shading under the hands. This is all body doubles in pajamas, I'm guessing, because they all look the same. They just shot someone and they just strip on heads. And so a lot of this looks like they probably didn't have a lot of time. But I mean, I think the poster could be really beautiful. It's almost there. Almost. And I do like the poster overall. There's just some retouching issues that I have with it.
Okay.
But it's still a cool idea and a gorgeous poster. And I like it. But I really like that. That's really good.
Yeah.
That's cool.
There's the poster. So I usually don't try to be too hard on posters. I know how it is to make these things, and it's hard.
Yeah.
A lot of approvals.
But it's interesting to talk about the poster. I mean, it certainly it makes you think like, hey, what did they try to do this on purpose, or is just like a poor job of retouching? And it probably is the latter. Who knows?
A little bit of both. A little bit of both.
But it makes for an interesting way of marketing, including with this trailer, which you just go, I don't know what the hell's going on.
What the hell?
Which is intriguing. It sort of gets you excited about, like, I want to go see what this movie's about. Is it more comedy than horror? Is it more hard? What is this movie, and what is really going on? It definitely looks
more comedy than anything else.
Because one thing about Ari Aster that I've noticed in his films is that he is he's very tuned in to a starkness of imagery. Like an image that's in your face. Like, you're going to look at this, you're going to confront this. He shows it to you. And I have a feeling that if he had anything to do with the marketing on this, he was probably, I don't know. I don't know him, but I feel like when you watch a film, you kind of get to know a filmmaker, and maybe he was like, I want this to be bluntly faces as big as possible, all of the faces, and I want them to look emotional, because remember the Midsummer poster, which was her face?
That was a great poster.
Yeah, but it was an emotional, and there's all those images of her crying, and it's like like you're forced to look at this person while she's crying,
right.
you know.
Yep.
And it's interesting. I wonder about this poster. It's interesting. And the trailer, just the choices of putting these cartoon worlds in there, and the
it looks like a wild ride.
Yeah,
well,
it does. I have no idea what to expect.
I know.
I think
all right,
we'll be there at the theaters. So April 23rd.
All right, see you there. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, I guess we're out of here. We're losing.
We're out of here.
Mark's going back to his home planet. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.